say hello. Thank you for joining me here.
Hello, thank you for joining me here.
Hello, yeah. Not as sassy as Alec.
Hi, I'm Tealish, and you're watching Coffee and Clicks. Today we're going to be doing a HeroClix Top 12 video. We are picking our top 12 favorite figures from Marvel HeroClix Smash and Destroy. So we're going to be picking those top 12. We're also going to have a few honorable mentions. As always, if you enjoy my content, please like this video and subscribe. Your support is really appreciated. Today we're joined by Alec Musser from HeroClix USA. We also have Joe Easton, my friend Joe Easton. Say hello. Thank you for joining me here.
Hello, thank you for joining me here.
Hello, yeah. Not as sassy as Alec.
Yeah, so we're going to pick our top 12. Top 12 figures from Smash and Destroy. I'm really excited for this set. It's an awesome set. I really like characters from Marvel that do exactly that Smash and Destroy, that are, like big, bulking characters. And there are a lot of those in this set. So we're going to take a look at some of our favorites. We're going to pick our honorable mentions first, and then we're gonna kind of round robin it, and then we're gonna pick our top 12. So let's get started. Let's start with we'll just go around in a circle. So we'll start with Alec first. What is your honorable mention pick for the top 12 figures?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the best choices for honorable mention, in my opinion, would be the Steve Rogers Uncommon, the 16A. It has Avengers, Shield, and Soldier keywords with the Avengers and Shield TA. And his trait is once per turn for all characters with this trait. When a friendly character is KO'd, when a friendly standard character is KO'd after resolutions, you may replace Steve Rogers with a character named Captain America of 60 points or less on its last non-KO click, then roll a d6 and heal that Captain America equal to half the result. So overall, the reason why I just love this piece, just briefly real quick, is because he's 25 points Perplex, Sidestep, Shield TA, and Avengers TA. I think that's really solid. Avengers, Shield. Avengers, obviously, very, very common keyword. Same with Soldier right now. There's a lot of soldiers. And then also just the Shield keyword is kind of more niche. You don't really build around it, but wherever it can be applicable, it is. But 25 point Perplex is just really, really good. And if you're playing if you're playing a team that just really, really benefits off like KOs and stuff like that, or like if you're running like Cannon Event or something like that, I feel like bringing in like Pegasus Cap or having a couple different Captain Americas on the sideline just to pick from a few. I personally have used Pegasus Cap the most, but getting him into the fight when something were to go wrong, and then you could like Cannon Event that Captain America so it can't get KO'd. Yeah, I think this character is really, really good. I think being able to call on a Captain America. There's quite a few Captain Americas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking, because I know you had picked this. I was thinking for Steve Rogers, I was like, what would be the perfect Captain America to bring in? And I hadn't even thought of the Asgardian one, the Pegasus Cap, but that's like a perfect choice.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that think of no one but Pegasus Cap. Like he's very high on people's lists, and there's always seems like a immediate suggestion for teams.
Yeah, I really like that one, and the other one I really like is the Falcon Captain America super rare from Black Panther, the one that immediately when he starts the game, he generates a Red Wing bystander, and then he has Perplex, and then Red Wing can use Perplex. So you basically trade in one of your Perplexes for another Perplex, and on top of that, a little bit of a fighter as well. So, yeah, I think there's probably gonna be more Captain Americas coming into the fray as well. But those are probably the two Captain Americas that I have used, and I think they both work very, very well with this figure. But yeah, 25 points Perplex. Yeah, pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I love it. I think he's even in sealed, he's a must play because he's 25-point perplex, and with the shield
Mhm.
TA, like he's a great figure. And then yeah, the ability to bring in Pegasus Cap, or they're always coming out with great Captain Americas. So, the super rare cap, also a great cap. So, yeah, I think that's a great figure. Joe, what was your honorable mention?
It's actually funny with no coordination with Alec. My honorable mention was the 40-point uncommon General Ross
Mm.
016B. He is the one where on a successful leadership role, you can generate a non-unique, non-prime soldier of 25 points or less. And the Steve Rogers is probably one of the premier figures that you could bring in off of that ability. He's
Mm.
40 points, sidestep, TK, mastermind enhancement. He has shield TA. Soldier is really his only applicable keyword. Hulkbusters and politician are a little more fringe. Well, Hulkbuster is very fringe, and then politician not as much. But soldiers, and then you can do Thunderbolts theme. Bringing in Steve Rogers is really one of the most solid ways, and also the 25-point Deathlock that we just got from WizKids is another way to bring him in. Um, I don't know if theme would be the way to go, but if you are like looking for someone where you like get some value from succeeding on the leadership roles, it's not just once a game. It's nothing that has to be on your sideline. It's generated. You could pair it with, say, like Kevin, Major Logan, just ways to try to like up your odds. And again, I don't know. 40 points is hefty for a 4 click. Not too much going on, but sidestep TK is pretty solid. So I don't know. I think he's really interesting. And then if you got him over into silver, like the options become extremely plentiful. They said non-unique though, so made sure no Scott Porter shenanigans were coming from General Ross.
Yeah.
True.
But you can generate when you were saying that you could generate Steve Rogers, you generate Steve Rogers, but then can Steve Rogers then bring in a Pegasus cap?
He could if you had it on your sideline. So if you were really thinking, hey, I'm like primarily I'm going to try to bring in Steve Rogers unless I'm feeling real cute about Deathstroke. Even like the Crease Soldier is a way to get the Skrull TA on your team.
I mean, I even think bringing in that there's a 25-point Star Lord from Collector's Trove. He's pretty good too. I think he's got running shot,
Oh,
three damage.
he's one of the ones that's like the three keywords. Like if you have three Guardians on your team, something happens.
Yes.
Yes, modify speed.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sorry. And then if three or more, they can all use willpower.
Oh yeah. So I mean, if you pop out three of them, then they all modify their speed +1. That's kind of cool. Yeah. So General Ross. I mean, he also has a shield TA, sidestep, TK, enhancement. So he's really good for 40 points. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
My honorable mention, I was going to pick Cinder. So let's take a look at Cinder. Cinder is a super rare.
Yeah, this figure is really cool. The sculpt looks pretty dope with the flames and the sword and stuff like that.
Yeah, Cinder's sculpt is awesome. When you pull her, she looks great. So there's Cinder on HC units. Um, Cinder has the Asgardian monster, politician, and ruler keywords. She has the cosmic energy team ability. She has a trait, everything burns, poison. When Cinder uses it, characters occupying or adjacent to any fire markers are considered adjacent to her, and Cinder deals penetrating damage. That's just traded. She just always deals penetrating damage. She has another trait, Fire Goblin Blood. When Cinder takes damage after resolutions, deal 1 damage to all opposing characters within 2 squares. Now, keep in mind that's also penetrating damage because of her first trait. Then she has an attack power, War is Hell, Blaze Claw's Fangs. When Cinder uses it, after resolutions, generate up to 4 fire smoke terrain markers in or adjacent to a hit target's square. At the beginning of your next turn, even if this is lost, deal 1 damage to each character occupying those markers, then remove those markers. So I'm trying to think, like, how much damage could she possibly deal total? Like, if she hits a 6 on her blades, let's say she did not move that turn. So let's say she was already in place when she attacked. She did not move that turn, so she can use poison. The poison is penetrating. She can use it after she uses blades, so she'll generate those four fire, smoke, terrain markers, and then she can poison anybody that's adjacent to or occupying a fire terrain marker. So or the fire smoke, the fire smoke terrain marker. So she can poison from that distance. She can blades, so she'll deal like 7 right there. The next turn, if that character stays in smoke in the fire terrain marker, she will deal 1 damage to each character occupying those markers, and then those markers get removed. So she can deal an extra damage that way. And if she takes damage, like let's say she gets hit, then she'll deal damage that way. So she's just dealing damage all the time. It's really cool. She's a giant. She's got 8 speed with charge, 11 attack, 18 defense with impervious, 4 damage with leadership, which is really cool that she's got leadership. I think she's a cool figure. 80 points or 55 points. So
yeah,
lots of penetrating damage.
Yeah, it's really solid.
Very solid. All right, so let's go into our. Oh yes, you guys have anything else to say about Cinder, or?
I was going to jump in one quick note on Cinder, only that the ruler keyword. I always look for characters that generate extra damage as anyone that might be a potential pair with Prince Kal-El, because having that global take a max of 3 damage from attacks, and then he has the white speed power. It's the Justice Will Be Done hypersonic. When he hits after res, a friendly character with the ruler keyword can make an attack targeting the hit character. So Cinder potentially generating an extra attack, and then in a world where characters only take a max of 3 damage, she generates a lot of incidental non-attack damage. It's penetrating, poison, and is 8 clicks deep, so would have to get triple tap to get taken off the map. So kind of interesting.
That is, that's an interesting combo there. Yeah, I like that.
I love me some Prince Kal-El.
Prince Kal-El's fun. He's fun. I've played him before. He's really fun.
So many HC unit builds. Not a lot of time on the map itself, though. I just always end up looking at it. I'm like, okay, and then this will probably just die. Okay.
Okay, so now we're gonna go to our actual picks. So those were our honorable mentions. Let's go to our actual top 12. So these are the top 12 HeroClix figures in no particular order from Marvel HeroClix Smash and Destroy. And if you disagree with any of our picks, please post it in the comments. Or if you have some of your own picks, post them in the comments. And keep in mind these are not necessarily the best figures. They're just figures that we really like. Okay. So Alec, why don't you go first? What was your first pick for this list?
So my first pick for the top 12 would be Juggernaut Legacy, and this is probably the first pick in terms of this is the bottom of my list, but still makes the list. Juggernaut Legacy, I think, is crazy good. I think it's a matter of time before people get this thing to work to the best of their ability. Unfortunately, it doesn't make use of the Crimson Gem very well because it already moves through blocking and has super strength. And Safeguard Mind Control and Outwit, which is really solid. But the fun part is he can power destroy all blocking terrain within 3 squares of himself. It's a power action. So if you don't like terrain that you see, you can just do that. He has super strength traded, and then he's got another trait that I'll get into because I think that's kind of the big chungy wungy of him. But he has this other defensive power that's willpower, safeguard. It's a trait, but it's like a defensive trait. I should have said that. It's willpower, safeguard, mind control, and outwit. When a opposing character deals Juggernaut penetrating damage after resolutions, deal that character 1 unavoidable damage. So you really got to pick and choose whether you're going to do damage to this character that's penetrating. But the real best part about this figure is the power, move, then make a close attack targeting all adjacent characters and all opposing characters Juggernaut move through this action, regardless of adjacency. So he has the improved movement, blocking terrain, destroys it, and characters. So Traffic Barrel really ruins this guy, but if you can get around that, he has sidestep. He has a movement of 7. He can just move right through characters, targeting all of them, and it's not targeting through like the targets in the traditional way with lightning bolts. It's just targeting characters. So it's kind of like how Starbomb works or how the super rare Thor works, where it just targets all characters and or like a King Deadpool and Elsa, and it just deals their damage because that's what it doesn't say printed or anything like that. I know that's what the Chase Juggernaut does, but this one just says deals damage. So, or just attacks them. So you can really bump that up if you want to make it even harder. And make that hit even harder. You can have it a max of 7. He's mystical, so you could put Chthon on him. You could put some options of putting in like long sword on him to give, or Stormbreaker. That way, everybody that's getting hit is getting knocked back, and it's all penetrating damage as well. And then you could probably throw some empowers in there as well. If you run like Kevin, he can kind of give him like a map wide thing. Him paired with some good TK or like something like Arrow that can just move one square, stuff that can get him out there a little bit quicker, I think makes him really tick. Obviously, he does lose to penetrating damage, but at a cost. He's got his impervious rolls. He is safeguard, mind control, and outwit, which is super, super solid. And for 80 points, I think running him and the other Juggernaut from Collector's Trove is a really solid option because they kind of almost do very similar things. But this Juggernaut, I don't know. I think the possibility of dealing a lot of the team 7 damage is kind of hard to come back from. So I think this figure deserves to be mentioned for that.
Yeah, I mean, and there's lots of options for him in Silver Age to get his damage. Like you could put the power gem on him or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, Chthon's banned in Silver now, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So in modern it would be Chthon. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Sorry, I don't think about Silver. Silver just gives me a headache thinking about. There's so many figures in Silver. But I'm sure there's some way worse funky shenanigans with Juggernaut. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's super solid. He's a little shallow for 80 points. I wish he like reduced pendant damage or something. But yeah, overall, I think this figure deserves to be looked at.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love Juggernaut, and like pretty much they've made like so many good Juggernauts now. Like every single one of them is good. Like even they have a new Chase Juggernaut from this set. That there's a lot of good stuff out there. Let's see. Joe, are you?
Yeah.
Joe, do you have a? What's your first pick?
I had the Chase Thor from the set, and I'll be honest, I ended up throwing him on because he was a figure I really dismissed when I first looked at him, and he kind of grew on me over time. And he has kind of a weird combination of some like range powers. Like he has the stop click on click 2 at 75 points. I'll preface, I don't think his 150 point dial is playable at all. But at 75 points, he has improved targeting, destroy blocking. He gives everyone, including himself, improved targeting, hindering, and then remembering, oh yeah, he can wear Mjolnir to have improved targeting characters. So he can see through a lot of things. He's got penetrating damage you can do with the smoke terrain markers from his trait. That stop click comes with knockback, and then the free action of once per game, choose an opposing character within 6, destroying all terrain that would block Thor's line of fire, and then making a close attack targeting him regardless of adjacency. So kind of another one of his uses of Mjolnir. And there's also a lot of options, right? He's Asgardian, so he can wear a destroyer. He's a warrior, so he could have longsword. It's really just seems like he kind of be pretty versatile. He has Avengers and Mystics. Has shape change and imperv, and then including the imperv on his stop. So you have multiple rollouts there. So he's not free points, and he has some pretty high damage potential, especially if you can use like a one shot or a pulse wave to get him on click 2 just to get that free action when you want it, and then healing him back up with, say, like an herb or something else.
Okay.
Just give some interesting possibilities of multi attacks.
So what would you equip him with? Would you equip him with Mjolnir, or would you equip him with?
I would do it with Mjolnir, and it's on just because of the improved targeting, right? You've got you're getting characters destroying, blocking, and hindering, like, and he's a 12 Pensai printed 4 on his stop click. So it's just the more I thought of it, just if you can manipulate him there, being able to running shot Pensai for 4, and then free action, hit for 4. The weirdest kind of circumstance of his power is that he does a close attack from 6 away, so you don't really take advantage of the Pensai, and that might be the element that keeps him out of like high level play. Longsword's interesting because it's a 6 away close attack, so then you're getting the CCE and blades damage, and he's a printed 4, right? So you've got some high potential output for damage there. It's just a single target, so it's no terrible shenanigans. I don't think it has any interaction with Ares, but
when he does that free once per game attack, does he need line of fire for that? Because it's a close.
It's an opposing character within 6 squares. So he has, if you set him up with all these like improved targetings, and then on top of that, he has a free once per game, go get anybody within 6, and he destroys all terrain that would block. So, bringing up the boogeyman, the traffic barrel. If you need somebody else to have a path cleared for the traffic barrel, Thor could do that job.
Absolutely, he could.
Great sculpt too. Like I'll just throw that out there.
Yeah, I think that sculpt is so solid. I'm a big sculpt guy, so some of these are based on sculpts alone.
Yeah, I've been getting really excited for these sculpts. Yeah.
And it's really easy for him to get on that stop click and then get off of it. Stuff with like diabolical bargain and stuff like that. Easy ways.
That was one shot. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. That's making sure. Yeah, you're right. And then also like Gaia is just or Jaya. I don't know how someone told me once how to actually pronounce it, and I totally forgot how to. But that connects to Asgardians too. So that's like the free heal one.
So, yeah. Yeah, I mean another one overlooking, on top of all the others, right? It's kind of just pick your poison with them here, like.
Oh yeah, so you can use Diabolical Bargain and then heal back from Gaia.
Yeah, correct. Is that the most optimal play? I don't know, but I'm just saying it is an option.
Yeah, one of the ways that you could get it done. In my head, if I'm being aggressive, I was thinking like clearing a pathway for maybe Super Sore, because he free action supports smaller characters.
Oh heck yeah!
So it's like Thor, get him on click 2, get that free, destroy all their blocking. Then that Super Sore goes and smashes someone, and hopefully picks up the traffic barrel to teach them a lesson for using that.
Yeah, and then you can put the Kooky Quartet cap on there and Scarlet Witch, and that's 175 points of past. Like themes.
Past Vengers, right? Yeah.
Yeah, past Vengers. That's awesome.
Okay, so my first pick is going to be an equipment, actually. It's going to be the Destroyer equipment. Let's take a look, because I already did my honorable mention, which was Cinder. So my first pick is Destroyer. Let's bring it up, because it's an equipment. It is a suit of armor. Yeah, I love this thing. It's so good. So yeah, this is ridiculous, right? This equipment. It's basically the same as if you know how it works, all right, I guess I'll read through it once, where it says large object. If Destroyer is on the map, characters don't occupy its squares other than to move through it. Adjacent characters can be given a power to equip Destroyer as if they were in its square. When Destroyer is unequipped, it can't be legally. If it can't be legally placed, your opponent places it in an unoccupied squares nearest to the character that last had it equipped, or in the nearest unoccupied square that character last occupied. And so that's basically the same thing that's on Motorcycle and Hell Cycle. The effect is very similar as well to Motorcycle and Hell Cycle from the Marvel Wheels of Vengeance set. So this effect, the effect of this equipment, when equipped, turn Destroyer's dial to any click. This character positively modifies their defense by Destroyer's defense value and can use the powers displayed on Destroyer's dial. And so you can pick any one of these 3 clicks when you assign the equipment, which, if you're playing in a tournament, you can change it between games. So, let's say you have it on one character, and you chose click 1, and then the next game you decide, you're going to use click 2 or click 3. You can do that between games when you're at an event. There's a damage power that says giant size here. So I guess click 1. If you're choosing click 1, you get penetrating psychic blast, toughness, and no modifier to your defense, but still pen size really good. Then click 2. If you're picking click 2, then you're getting toughness, +1 defense, and close combat expert. And if you're picking click 3, then you get invulnerable, +2 defense, which is insane, and giant size, which is really good because you're getting the 3 through 6 willpower, giant reach 2, all the benefits of being giant size, plus your a +2 defense is really strong. So
yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think about this equipment?
Go for it.
It's excellent. I don't know how many people are going to be using click 2 on it for the CCE, but I'm personally just really glad that it's unique, unlike the cycles, because otherwise I feel like you'd see 3 of these in like a whole bunch of matches.
Yeah.
I mean, and the only reason why people aren't using click 2 is because there's other things out there that give CCE right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can.
It's just that's more, and it's more a nod to the other 2 clicks. Like the +2 giant like invuln is so strong, and honestly, like to your point of being able to choose match to match, sometimes Pensai is just exactly what you need, right? If they're not playing one of those like big tent pulley like reduced penetrating damage. Like Pensai is just going to be like fitting the bill, and it's just nice to have that as like an option.
It's so solid. I agree. Giving a character the ability to go into Pensai, if they are like even a semi-decent ranged attacker, and even giving them toughness too is really nice. Like for those characters that just have super senses or something like that, so the knockback.
Like a Loki.
Yes, exactly.
I didn't even mention when I was reading the card that one of the qualifying keywords is Asgardian. So if you have a character that you're assigning this equipment to, and the character has the Asgardian keyword, then instead of paying 15 points, you pay 0 points. It's free to include on your team. So that's insane, right? That's really good.
Oh yeah, Daredevil loves this.
Yeah. Again, thank you for being unique, Destroyer. That's all I'll say again. Yeah, I actually have been messing too on the first appearance Avengers Iconics Loki, where he's like on click 2, has the other characters within range can't be given free actions.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, if he has a 20 defense and invuln with his super senses, like he actually gets like much less squishy.
Yeah. I think in the design they should have switched around toughness on click 1 and invulnerability on click 3. I think giving 2 damage plus invulnerability, and I understand giant size is kind of like a give and take, right? So it makes them a little bit better, but also that makes them like it's like it's like a catch 22 kind of situation because everyone can see him too. But man, it's just I feel like the benefits way more outweigh the drawbacks on giant size in this specific scenario.
Oh yeah, just like the Asgardian Spider-Man from Spider-Verse, right? Like having to deal with the 4 through 6 sentences, 20 defense, invuln, and Andy's got the stop click, right? Like,
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, I
he's
mean, there's so many characters out there with like really good rollouts, but that don't have reducers. And now giving them invulnerable and +2 defense is just really good. It's really
mm-hmm.
strong. All right, so Alec, what's your second pick for the top 12?
I think my second pick is a figure I've used quite a bit since it's came out, but still I'm going to put it at my number 3 slot for this. It's going to be Battle World Captain America, the Chase. Battle World keywords, Battle World Other, sorry, Warbound, which I mean, if you want to make that Warbound team, here you go. Uh, Animal, Soldier, and Warrior. So this, okay, so I know the wording's kind of funky. It says at the beginning of the game you can generate an arena marker within 4 squares from all map edges. It's just one marker though. I believe that it probably needs an errata or something like that, but it's just one marker. So you drop that somewhere, it destroys all blocking terrain within 2 squares of the arena marker. So that's really good for getting rid of opposing blocking terrain or uh, phone booths if you don't like them. So you could just place your phone booth right outside where you're gonna place this marker. Make sure it's 3 squares away, and then drop it right on theirs. And that way you have yours or whatever. The other thing that really comes in clutch that I don't think a lot of people think about is characters score 10 victory points when they KO a character within 2 squares of the arena marker. So it does say characters. You have to be careful with that. But if someone tries to bring in some like pogs or time breakers or something really small, you're getting an extra 10 points. And that's what, in my opinion, that's what made Amit's Tomb so powerful. The dealing extra damage, obviously, but the generating 10 extra victory points per KO is just kind of crazy. Butterfly became a lot less, you know, not valuable, but like you have to be really careful with your butterfly pog placements now because, and on the opposite side, you want to be on the same reciprocating end, but that's where the third part of this trait is. Characters now within 2 squares of the arena marker modify attack and damage by -2 when attacking characters within 2 squares of the arena marker. And that is protected pulse wave. So if you position it well so that they have to come to you and you make it very, very hard for them, you can really do some stuff. On top of that, 65 points, man, I thought like that top dial was rancid. Was special attack speed power. We'll get into that, but he's got a 12 precision strike, 18 combat reflexes with 4 damage with close combat expert. He's got 0 range. He's got 2 targets, but so he every time he's attacking with a close attack, it'll be 13 for 5 with precision strike, which is just really super. I mean, like bananas for 65 points. And on top of that, he's got charge and flurry, and then double slash close as a free, but only if Captain America is within 2 squares of the arena marker. And that's really easy to do with his pog that he generates on the stop click. Stop Mastermind on his defensive powers on 4 and 7 is defensive stop click. When this click is first revealed after resolutions, generate a Devil Dinosaur bystander. You can only have one, but the Devil Dinosaur bystander has charge 6, 12 attack blades, 18 imperv, 4 damage enhancement, and is giant sized. So you could go out there, charge a character outside the battle marker, and then if you have that Devil Dinosaur nearby or something, you can kind of like pick him up, move him back into the arena marker, and then do an attack or something like that. I've tried a lot of different stuff with this, but I think Mjolnir feels the best with Captain America. It gives him a 5. It gives him a 4 + 3. It gives him a 7 square reach that goes through characters with Mjolnir. Gives him the option to pulse wave and quake if you really need to. Man, I think a lot of people kind of are writing off this dude. I think he's really, really solid. I think there's some really interesting tech with like Spot bringing people into that arena marker, KOing them, getting an extra 10 points. I don't know, man. A lot of people are saying he's really easy to kill because of knockback and stuff like that. I think he's very, very solid.
Yeah, I mean, very solid. And I mean, hey, if you want to equip him with instead of Mjolnir, you equip him with Destroyer, and now he's 20 defense with invulnerable his whole dial, right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
then he can't get knocked back, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And he can literally make it play as a like you have to come to me kind of game. Yeah, I think this dude's solid. I think that Devil Dinosaur Pog, he spawns twice if he hits those stop clicks. I will say Nth Arrow kind of destroys this character a little bit, but
Hmm.
Devil Dinosaur man is a really good Pog. Charge, giant sized, and then yeah, I don't know. I super love this figure. I think a lot of people are writing this figure off too early. I think he's really really solid.
Yeah, I think he's a very solid figure. I like. I mean that click one is insane.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, whenever you might attack 3 times, you gotta pay attention, especially like to your point of having Mjolnir for free and or again, right, it's a warrior, so attacking 3 times with a longsword, like we can just throw that like ad nauseum on a bunch of different guys. But
I mean,
like animal, soldier, warrior, really good keywords.
it's a true smash and destroy set. So like you have a character that people are writing off as a chase that's 13 attack, 5 damage with 3 attacks.
But
Yeah,
it really might not be good enough, right? That's the craziest part.
yeah, 4 attacks if you just power action flurry.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. No, I agree. I think he's really really solid. I mean, I like base this against who's the next closest figure that kind of compares to this. 60 points, Ulysses Bloodstone. I think. I think Ulysses has a little bit more staying power, but I think I would rather pick this Captain America over Ulysses.
I don't
More.
have the stomach for Ulysses. Good for everyone who can sit there and just like roll and be like, I don't know, is he one shot or is he just going to be a super pain for my opponent? I can't do it.
For me, it's a super pain.
Yeah, well, the closest free can be the Quake when you have Mjolnir on him too.
Yeah,
Yes, it
so
could.
you could even pulse wave and then make a flurry of charge attack or something like that.
Oh yeah, Pulse
Oh, you
Wave
can't
and then
charge. Sorry,
Flurry is
charge is a
free.
power action. My bad. But yes, you can even pulse wave if you don't like
Yeah,
something.
the Quakes with Precision Strike too. You know,
Oh
it's
yeah,
not nothing or like exploit as we get down dial.
and it's
But that
Giant Reach 3 with Mjolnir
And
as well.
improve their character as
yeah,
well.
but
Yeah,
you're right. The Devil Dinosaur is giant size, so he can carry Captain America pretty much anywhere, and then he can make that closest free as long as he's within the arena marker, right? So like, I guess you kind of want to like bunker down with this
Hmm.
with Captain America. You kind of want to bunker down within the arena squares that radius.
Yes, correct. And if you play two of these, like if I play one and you play one, it is self-referential. So you all these are unique to the character, I believe. So just for like if you go up if you're running Captain America and you happen to go up against another Captain America.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, Joe, what is your second choice? What do you got there?
my second choice is the super rare Titania. Um, and it's really it just was kind of cool to see a character that was really pushing the brute keyword forward, especially in the Smash and Destroy set, right? We had a whole bunch of options that we could use there. And I don't know, like well, just reading her trait really quick. It's she has super strength and friendly characters with the brute keyword take a maximum of 1 damage from opposing characters that can use super strength or close combat expert. And now that's like the tricky part, right? Like which characters have those? I feel like in the world of close combat that we live in right now, it's just going to be extremely common for
Hmm.
this to be used. And I know that, like you're going to probably play her on a 30-point dial. I can't really imagine a world where 100-point Titania sees the board, but give it a shot, everyone, and tell me I'm wrong. Um, but at 3 clicks deep, like she can just be knocked off the board. But in a lot of these type of matchups, you're playing some of these brute characters that are really heavy hitters, and if they're prioritizing getting like your 30-point support piece, then she's still like doing an okay job for you as well. And I mean, she just has Quake Exploit with Giant Reach 3 if she's adjacent to a brute as well. So like close combat expert, we were just talking about like, not that I think it's likely, but you could see it from Destroyer, from Bucky's arm, from Longsword, Juggernaut. Like all the Juggernauts have super strength pretty much, but like the helmet gives super strength as well. And so it's a little bit of roll of the dice. I think she could be a really good meta call. Like if you just saw that things were just coming in, longsword trying to Ares bomb you, like that sort of aggression, and she's just gonna say, no, my characters are only gonna take one because you're coming in for some longsword shenanigan. Like that could sustain you at an alpha, and like brutes are just naturally gonna be able to crack back.
Hmm.
Yeah. Alec, what do you think about Titania?
Yeah, I think you are correct. I think it's a really good meta call. I was just like looking at brutes and stuff like that. I always forget there's quite a few brutes out there that are actually pretty solid.
It's a sneaky keyword. I feel like it's kind of been building up over time.
I mean, you could run her with 75 point Titania. I feel like that's a kind of a solid option.
I mean, if Scott Porter was still around, I would be into it. But there's just not enough celebrities. That's kind of her gimmick, right?
Yeah, I suppose
Um,
so.
I mean, I feel like in Sealed, she's amazing too, right? Like, I mean, within the context of this set,
oh yeah,
like
you're gonna be
everybody
like,
has super strength and close combat expert. Like, so
I'm definitely not touting super rares for sealed purposes. I will say that like if you pull one, you're probably playing it. But
yeah.
yes, I think she would definitely do some work.
And
Yeah,
and even like you said, the exploit, just having 11 attack, 3 damage exploit quake, possibly 3 giant reach 3. That's kind of nasty for 30 points.
Yeah, she's like, and no, again, yeah, sure. She's a 30-point character that might die, just like lots of other 30-point characters. She has offensive potential and has a pretty high upside for some strong defensive capability for your team. Yeah,
Hmm.
I just think she's interesting. And I think especially if you're getting like um a larger quantity of characters, like I think Kangaroo is kind of interesting in Brute too, just having the free action make an attack. Like um at almost like a not like a almost brute but like non-theme if you like incorporated Sandman in with a few other characters, just giving some staying power. But yeah, I think we'll see her pop up here and there. I don't think she's going to be like a staple.
yeah. I think she pairs good with like Doc Sasquatch and like Super the Chase She-Hulk from Disney Plus. Just kind of like a don't die team. Like I just Doc can't die. You have to kill She-Hulk twice, and then on top of that, Titania is saying, "Well, you're doing like one damage to everybody." So,
Yeah, the other Wonder Dawn was the other one that I was kind of thinking
oh
about.
yeah, Wonder Dawn.
Just like pretty potent, but a little bit of a shallow dial. So being able to mastermind I'm pretty sure being able to mastermind to her, like then it could like just put her like one click at a time if you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
save somebody else. But
Yeah, totally.
Okay. All right. Let me talk about my second pick. My second pick is Rhino. It's a rare Rhino from. Yep. Well, we're talking about Smash and Destroy, so. But let's take a look at rare Rhino here. I think he's a cool figure. Um, He has the Magia Sinister Syndicate Animal Brute Ruler keywords. He's got the Sinister Syndicate team ability. He's got a trait, I'm Rhino, unique modifier. When a friendly character uses charge, modify their speed +1. Friendly characters with Sinister Syndicate can use charge, including Rhino. And he has an attack power, I knock things down. Super strength, if Rhino destroyed one or more pieces of blocking terrain this turn, modify his damage +1. So
Mm.
I mean, you can get him to be very. I mean, he kind of hits really hard. Just first of all, he's a brute, so you can equip him with the longsword, and then he's 12 for 4, and then if he moves through terrain, you're making him 12 for 5. And then he can pick up terrain, so that's super strength, so that you can get him to be pretty high damage, or you can, he's got flurry too. So at his high dial, 75 point dial, he has flurry, so he can charge flurry for quite a bit. But I mean, I think that first trait is really what makes him interesting. I mean, in silver, you can give out these Sinister Syndicate team ability to other characters. I think there's what is it, Iron Spider Prime, I think, does that. And also, I mean, in modern, I was playing with him the other day. Against him. I was playing against him the other day, just like a casual constructed game, and they were playing a Magia theme team, and they had Chase Mysterio. And he was just like, I'm going to poof my Mysterio across the map and then charge Mind Control. I'm like, Mysterio doesn't have charge. I'm like, and he's like, yes, he does, because because friendly characters with the Sinister Syndicate team ability can use charge. So I think just doling out charge to like other characters on your team is potentially a really interesting thing. So I thought it was cool. I think Rhino's pretty cool because he can give out charge to everyone, and he gives them +1 speed too. So and he's got +1 speed for himself as well. So so he's really charging for 6. Yeah, he's really good. I think he's really good. Also, his defense is really insane too. Like 19 defenses, impervious. 19 invincible. He gets 19 on the back end of his dial too. So like even if you hit him towards the back end of his dial, usually they taper off and they go, the defense value goes down, but his kind of goes up. So that's pretty strong. What do you
I
think?
love this figure. That's it. I just love this figure. It looks so cool, and I think it does exactly what Rhino does really, really well.
Yeah. I mean, he makes Sinister Syndicate really, like, he's a good addition to Sinister Syndicate because in the Spider-Verse set, they had all these Sinister Syndicate characters, but they didn't have Rhino, and Rhino just adds to it and makes it like he kind of completes it.
Yeah, I just watched the Craven movie on Sunday, so I'm not holding that against this Rhino.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I did not see the Craven movie, but yeah, was Rhino? Was he not?
You do literally anything else with your time. We don't. I'm not gonna give any more of my time to that movie.
Okay. All right. So that was my second pick. Now we're going to our third picks. So third pick, Alec. What do you got?
Okay, so this is probably one of my favorite figures to come out in the set. It's a legacy. So technically it didn't come out in the set, but the card did. But I have been building a ton with Druid. The legacy with Mystics and Shield TA, Avenger Shield, Secret Warriors, and Mystical. He has 2 powers that are crazy good. Well, one of them, in my opinion, is a phenomenal power, and the other one's whatever. I actually really don't use it a ton. But at his 50-point dial, he has a special damage power that says wrong pocket. At the beginning of your turn, you may roll a d6. Druid can use the resulting effects until your next turn. I'm not going to go through all these. This is a ton. But I will say that, because it is called kind of random, but he can like steal unequipped items. He can use support as free. He can modify his attack by +3 and use Blaze Claw's Fangs. He can just deal free 2 penetrating damage to the opposing character in the line of fire. Range in line of fire, he's got a range of 7. Super good. He's a flyer as well, so he can carry somebody. But I think his real power comes from his 30-point dial, which starts on click 4, which starts with stealth, a special attack power, 18 defense with barrier, which is really, really good in my opinion, and then perplex with 2 damage. So that special attack power is free. Choose an adjacent friendly character. This turn, that character can use Sidekick Penetrating Blast, which I know Penetrating Sidekick Blast, and destroy and improve targeting blocking terrain destroys it. So that, in my opinion, is so good with getting out those ranged attackers that can just you know, that don't maybe have it. Stuff like Hawkeye now on top dial, he is dealing 3 penetrating damage and also shooting through blocking terrain twice if he hits, which he pretty much always is hitting. On top of that, he's got Perplex. There's characters that you just never know that you need it until Druid's right next to them, and you're like, oh yeah, I can just destroy this blocking terrain, even if it doesn't hit. At least I'm destroying some barrier and stuff like that. I think that power is really, really good with 7 range as well. I think
Oh,
he's really, really solid with that perplex and then barrier on top of all that. And then every once in a while, if he's not one shot, he has running shot, pulse wave, ESD on his last 2 dials, which I think are really, really solid. So I think this figure for 30 points, he holds his weight within his points. And yeah, I think this is a super, super solid support figure.
I mean, this druid I think is best friends with Hadariel.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like he has perplex. He gives her improved targeting, blocking, destroys blocking, and he's got shield TA. So I mean, yeah, that
Hmm.
I would definitely run him with her if I was. That's the first thing I would think of.
Yeah, the shield TA is really nice too because really Druid's not doing a lot of moving and power actions, so you can just use that power action to do an extra damage on an attack for a range attack. And also just giving the passive +1 range is really, really nice too.
And also, like, am I reading this correctly with the wrong pocket? His 50 point dial.
Hmm.
If he rolls a 6, does he just cause all opposing characters to unequip
Yes.
everything?
Yep. And then he immediately pick up an object drop this way. Yep.
Uh,
I don't. It's hard to count that. It's because I don't. To me, it's like it's a cool power, but if you're relying on it, then you're probably not doing it correctly. But it is like a nice little power that's kind of goofy, and you're like, all right, I roll a 6. That's kind of wild.
yeah.
Well, in silver, there's probably you probably could like
Oh,
do some
dice
like die
manipulate.
replacement and like just be like, oh, you lose your objects and I take one. So
Yeah, between like High Priestess, Kevin, any kind of like Major Logan, increased D6 results by +1. Whatever you may have. I don't know. It's silver, so I'm sure there's way worse
whatever,
ways to use this
silver.
figure. Yeah.
No, also I like a great pairing with Copycat, the
Hmm.
barrier perplex, the stealth.
I totally agree. Copycat, man, copycat.
I mean,
uh,
Copycat's a great pair. Like it's one of those things where, and it's funny now when you like are on units building a team, and then you go like you're like missing a power, and it's like, oh well, it's like I'm missing 2 of those because I have Copycat. I gotta fit it in.
Hmm.
yeah, no, makes sense. Yeah, yeah, this figure is really yeah with copycat too. Yeah, that's a ton of stuff. And you could just get. I mean, like if you want to use, you probably don't use with copycat offensively, but you could. And now it's psychic penetrating blast. So, but yeah,
All right.
I love this figure.
Yeah, this is that was a great pick. Um, Joe, what is your third pick?
Uh, I'm gonna go with the Chase Magneto. Um, it just I think everyone like again we can talk right away about the sculpt, right? Like having the little taxi cab door above him, like it's a pretty striking one. I was really psyched when I got my case. I pulled one. Um, I think it's interesting that he does something specifically for Brotherhood of Mutants that sounds a little bit uninspiring until like giving free TK to a Brotherhood, but A, he can just free TK himself around, and B, Colossus Prime is Brotherhood. So,
Yeah,
and they're both rulers, so they can both go be friends with Legacy Black Panther and just play kind of like a ruler good stuff team. And I think he can be pretty solid there. Um, he's a little squishy at 60. I would. It's one of the ones I actually feel more comfortable with him at 100, just having the invincible top dial with like printed 4 damage, 12 attack. But I certainly think he's playable on both. You have to be really careful with deployment, right? You start to think about like going to our last figure, Druid, thinking like Druid copycat, and it's like there's 40 points of double barrier, just ways to keep him safe. But I think it's when he hits after resolutions, giving each hit character that's equipped or holding a terrain marker an action token. And I mean, most characters are going to be equipped. It feels like now, especially with something like Destroyer entering the mix, and just I think that's one of those things that can also just be like totally overlooked, like just those tempo swings of tokening someone up. And yes, lots of things have giant willpower, and that's great, but just giving yourself an opportunity to not let your opponent crack back, just having that. And then his 100 point has the white box power on top dial leadership. When Magneto uses and succeeds this turn, he can use mind control as free. So he can use mind control as free, TK is free. He's got destroys blocking for improved targeting. And again, another character who it's pretty nice is giving him Pensai from someone like Druid, because he doesn't have a high potency. You might even just want to think about putting a universal weapon on him too, though. Just that, like, he's got for the standards of smaller maps, like 8 movement, 6 range, double target is pretty solid. So you're just kind of letting yourself mishmash and getting into potential of like pulse wave, multi-target, Pensai, energy explosion, just pretty solid. Like he's gonna be he got a big old target on his back, so it'll be interesting to see if he can sustain that. But that's why I think of a figure like Colossus, and like he's gonna punish you for trying to deal with other stuff on the team.
Yeah. He's not unique either, just so we're clear.
Yeah, not unique. Yeah, you could they can just TK each other instead of themselves, just because you're like, I can do this.
Boop, 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 boop. Like, just creeping along there.
Yeah, that is cool. You could play double Magneto at 60. I mean, 100 point Magneto and then Colossus looks. I mean, that sounds really solid, right? And you could equip him with the universal weapon. You could equip him with Mjolnir to give him improved targeting characters.
I mean, Brotherhood sounds not that great until, but like also Legacy Juggernaut,
Yeah.
the Super Rare Juggernaut from Collector's Trove.
Yes.
Right there, there's
Uncommon Toad.
not even like the is it no the Kooky Quartet aren't right. It's the terrible, yeah, it's the terrible uncommons.
Oh yeah. Correct.
But both the Chase and Legacy Juggernaut have it. To your point, playing with himself. The Trove Scarlet Witch. So yeah, or if you're trying to deploy a Prime Rogue, sounds like the most expensive way to do it. But hey, that's your choice. I tried to play a Brotherhood theme with the Gala Scarlet Witch and Havoc, but that was actually before this came out. It was kind of neat. It was using them, the Juggernaut from Trove and Colossus, so he would fit in right well with that, and just a good theme, fun figure. Again, sculpt, top notch, but I think he's got some legs.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if he doesn't do anything else, he's still probably one of the best sculpts in the set.
Yeah, he'll go right into one of those little WizKids display cases, so that's fine too.
Heck yeah.
What are we on to now? The fourth figures, or I think it's my fourth figure, right?
I
third.
think you're third.
I did Rhino. So this is my third. Okay, that's right. Because I did my honorable mention, and now these are my 3 figures. So my third figure is going to be Arrow. Also a super rare.
You have failed this city. Oh no, wrong one.
You have failed the city. Fair enough.
Arrow.
I love this figure.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you could talk about it. I'm going to talk about it too, but we'll all talk about it. Let's see. Arrow is she's such a great figure. Agents of Atlas, mystical scientist, and spy keywords. She's got the team player team ability. Architect of the Sky. Force Blast as free, but only to target a character that was targeted with Perplex this turn. When when Arrow uses Force Blast, she may choose the direction of the knockback. That's just crazy good because that's 2 potential Force Blasts there. She can do a power action Force Blast and a Force Blast as free, so she can. And only the second one, only the one that's free has a condition attached to it. So the first one is just regular Force Blast, but for both of them, she can choose the direction of the knockback. She also has a trait Aerokinesis, Passenger 2, free, move a friendly character within range that can use flight or that shares a keyword with Arrow 1 square. They automatically break away. So that's really good because that's like helps you reposition your team. She can be a taxi, which is great. But she can also kind of like if you have a character that's like tied up and you need to break them away, you can move them 1 square. If you need to reposition one of your characters 1 square, you can reposition them. She can move herself 1 square if she needs to, so it's like effectively a sidestep for 3. She can, if you need to like get that extra square after you're using TK, it's almost like a 5 square TK because she does have sidestep, TK, super senses, and her damage power is perplex and probability control. So she's just excellent for support. She moves through characters, so she's a great taxi. She has 2 targets with 5 range. So even in a pinch, even after she's doing her like she can sidestep up, Force Blast is free, or sidestep up, perplex down their defense. Force Blast is free. Choose the direction of the knockback, and then she can attack because she's not a bad attacker. She's 11 attack for 3 damage. So she can do a lot of stuff. She's very versatile. I really like everything that she could do here. Really good figure. She's a little squishy. She's got super senses, but I mean it's good that she has the team player team ability, so she can possibly copy something like Wonder Woman or Spidey TA. I don't know. What do you guys think about Arrow?
Yeah, I think she's so solid. It's just a 45-point support piece. Perplex and Prob can move people. Is also a carrier, taxi. Yeah, I think you said it all. I just think she's super solid. I really like her a lot. Her sculpt's kind of dope too.
Yeah, I love the design of the figure. That 45 is where I start to get nervous about like my purely support piece a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, by the same token, there's a lot of just efficient attackers you can have at lower points too. It just is like a character that's because when the jump to 50, it seems like you start to see some sort of robust, like 7-click deep, like prominent offensive pieces. My first thought was the starter Superman, the 2025 one that can make free attacks when he moves, because her ability is just another way to give him a movement beside a sidestep or hypersonic.
Yeah, keep in mind when she moves that one character. Also, I was just thinking about this. When she moves that one character, 1 square, if that character has flight or something like that, they can carry another character as well with them.
Yeah, they're functionally sidestepping or whatever it is, right? It's just they're not the source of the free action, but they are still just performing a move.
So that's a way of getting 2 characters out of trouble if they're tied up.
Oh yeah, and just everything incidentally. Like I said, it's she, and I guess it's good, right? It's because if she was 35 points, you'd be like, oh, what a pain, and you would just probably be seeing her all over the place. So it's like she's a really like on that razor's edge of like where she can do it. She has some potency just with the Force Blast, though, especially with like, I mean, we were talking about Copycat, right? Like a super annoying bystander who's going to probably have 2 rollouts, and it's like maybe if you can just knock her back away from like being within range of a reducer, and then just like not have to deal with it. Force Blast is free, just ends up being more useful than it looks like, I feel.
Well, and also the fact that you can choose the direction of the knockback. I remember they had a storm that did
That's
that.
really cool, yeah.
Yeah, they had a storm that did that where you could like kind of like draw them into your kill box. So like Arrow can kind of do that as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so that was my which one was that? That was my third, right? So now
Yes.
now we're on to our fourth pick. This is our last pick. This is our last round here. This will round out the top 12. So we'll start with Alec.
Yeah, so the figure I've been probably playing exclusively since it came out is Freya. As guardian, deity, marksman, mystical politician, and ruler. Um, yeah, I mean, I could talk a lot about her and just how great she is as a figure. But at the beginning of the game, she generates a storyline terrain marker, and it corresponds with what click number she's on. So if you're on one, it's Lost Gods. That gives all your friendly characters +1 attack if they're inside 4 squares of the storyline terrain marker. Click 5 is Ragnarok, which gives +1 defense. And then 9 is gives you Safeguard, Opposing Prob, and Perplex. All three have really, really good uses, but when she would be KO'd the first time and she hasn't been and you may instead turn her to her starting line. She hasn't been on this game, and your opponent scores 15 victory points. If you do, after resolutions, Freya generates a storyline terrain marker that corresponds to the click she was turned to. So she kind of becomes a keep away piece, don't die piece, because you have to kind of KO her 3 times, while also changing what that Ragnarok piece does, or whatever, not the Ragnarok, the storyline terrain marker does. She also has when the storyline terrain marker is destroyed by an opposing character after resolutions, deal that character 1 unavoidable damage, protected pulse wave. That all the terrain marker has immobile, so the only way you can really get rid of it is by like kind of either punching it or quaking it. And she has this is my favorite trait of all time. This is my favorite trait that she has. It's traded probability control. Freya may use it up to 3 times a turn, but only if she targets characters with the Asgardian keyword. / other characters within range can't use probability control. So she both simultaneously is 3 of your probs and gives everybody else 0 probs within range. Um, and that range can be bumped up, so you can make it like 7 squares or whatever. Shield TA. Um, so yeah, I think she's really so solid. I've been using her a ton with the super rare Thor from Collector's Trove, who has just like this crazy amount of damage output, and also you have to spin him twice to KO him with the 50 points. Um, yeah, I think this character is really, really good. I've played her a couple times, but what I'm really in love with is putting her on putting the Asgardian armor, the destroyer armor on her for free, giving her +2 damage or defense, and then making her giant size. That way she can see any probability control. She can
Oh yeah.
just to give some people that have the Asgardian keyword. Um, so like the Legacy Cap from Collector's Trove that has the Mjolnir, the on your left is a Asgardian. Obviously, all Thors are. Daredevil's Asgardian. Um, the Captain America Pegasus is also Asgardian. So yeah, I think there's a lot, and she's also Asgardian herself, so she can prop herself twice, 3 times. So yeah, I think she is super, super solid. I think she's definitely, in my opinion, I don't know if a lot of people are talking about her, but I definitely am. You could probably run her with trick arrows too. She does have a 12 attack for what it's worth on top dial, and it's really easy to get up more. But man, this figure is so good. And then also tandemly, just want to talk about this real quick. Hemdall's Sight, the one shot giving 8 range to an Asgardian, is crazy, crazy good for 5 points.
Hmm.
Giving that super rare Thor 8 range to throw that hammer, giving Freya 8 range to make an attack. If you pair it with Druid, it's penetrating, which is what I actually do a lot of the time. She's also mystical. You could put Chthon on her if you want to, make her even harder to KO, giving more damage output. Yeah, overall, I'm 3 targets too. Sorry, 3 targets
When
on
she
top of
gets
that.
KO'd, I just to clarify for people that don't know, so like when you pay 50 points for her, but then
Yep.
if you spin her once, you get 15 points. You spin her twice, you get 15. You spin her the third time, you get the full 50. So it's 80 points that you would score from her, right?
I believe so,
Yeah.
yeah. Because then she wouldn't have to, you may instead turn it to a click line she hasn't done yet. So you could do 15, 15, and then 50. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're instead of KOs, so like when the third is just she's KO'd.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, yeah, it's amazing. It's definitely an
Yes, I
amazing figure.
agree. It's weird that Asgardian, in my opinion, I kind of talked to you a little about this earlier, Anthony.
Yeah.
But Asgardian feels like it's kind of becoming a little bit of a like point denial. Like you have to KO them multiple times between Freya, like the chase Loki with the Infinity Gauntlet gems, uh, the super rare Thor. Um, I guess those are really it. But honestly,
Daredevil.
Daredevil, yeah, Daredevil's point
Daredevils.
denial too.
Yeah.
I think Asgardians kind of has this undertone, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but this kind of undertone of just being like point denial figures that still do a lot of damage because even though they might be squishy in terms of like on the surface level, you still have to deal with them multiple times. So other than that, I think Freya's great. I think she rounds out Asgardians and makes them very, very playable.
It would actually be interesting to do something like this, where, like I don't know, like in Magic the Gathering, they've done like a color personality wheel for
Hmm.
the different colors, like red, black, blue, green, white, right? So in HeroClix, maybe taking keywords and doing like a HeroClix personality wheel for the different keywords, like not necessarily archetypes, but like you said, like Asgardian right now is kind of like a don't die, has like a kind of a don't die personality to it.
Hmm.
I don't know. That would be interesting to think about. Like, you have the brute, you have your brutes, you have your mystical, which are typically have a lot of support powers. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
Well, let's get political. What do you think about the police keyword, Tony?
Police keyword. I love police keyword. Why not? Like I don't know.
I do actually. I want to piggyback too on Alex's points about Asgardians. I, because according to HC units, again, they're figures I've never physically seen, but the Asgardian Fantastic Four, and that's
Hmm.
also what had my kind of queued up and made me look at the police keyword. But because we've talked about Destroyer, all of them can reduce penetrating damage.
Yeah, they're all Asgardian too. Wow, I didn't
Which
think about
ones?
that.
Which ones?
Oh,
The
the like WizKids Marvel 2021 like MP 21-003 to 006, Fantastic Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and Thing.
oh,
And yeah, like all four of them are just like kind of silly when they wear Destroyer because they're they have that Colossus effect of just like a full dial of reducing damage. And now Colossus adds to the suffering by like just reducing that entirely sometimes with imperv. But having a +2 defense and reducing penetrating damage like makes them very functionally similar, and they're not taking up your prime slot,
mm-hmm.
and they're all like Asgardian keyword. So like the Human Torch was the one because he's got like a penetrating blast, and then he can make a ranged attack, and instead of normal damage, he can deal his printed damage to each hit character. He's a
Three
printed
targets.
3, and he's a 7 range triple target and improved targeting characters.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're just we're coming out of Smash and Destroy and all, like talking about Asgardian, talking about Destroyer. Like they're really interesting. I think they've all kind of like spiked on eBay at this point. So like I said, it's truly just as well. I was on a break from the game, so I never physically even laid eyes on the characters.
That was the old Fantastic Four Asgardian set, right? Not the current Bifrost set that you're talking about. You're talking about the
Yeah,
old two.
correct. 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like the same timeline as like death metal, right? That like how on earth are they still in modern? Well, I don't know, but
Yeah, they're with
here they
there
are
with
to
like Phoenix Sentinel and stuff like that.
Nice. All right. So yeah, definitely a good pick. With Freya. Joe, what is your last pick?
My last pick is the Prime Abomination, and kind of in connection to like the thought about uh Titania earlier being a brute, and I just kind of gravitate toward characters that do things that no one else can, and just his trait, like opposing characters can't knock characters back and can't be given terrain actions, is really interesting. It's just kind of change, like because again, we talked about Arrow and doing some force blast and like choosing directions and breaking up formations with knocking back is just kind of like a brass tacks, like fundamental of the game, right? Like certain characters, like Elsa Bloodstone super rare, where you feel like you can't play her because she's just going to get knocked back in one tapped, and it just makes you really reevaluate characters that might otherwise not pass the sniff test because they're really culpable to knockback. And on top of that, it just, I mean, he's got uh, for 80 points, he's got 12 attack, 18 invincible, and then printed 4. He's a giant with Battle Fury, CCE, Shape Change, and the white box power that gives him those gives him protected outwit on his other powers. So, I mean, mainly invincible there, right? But he's just, like, so he's got that 10 movement charge. He can, when he attacks one or more characters that have Brute or Monster, or super strength. He also gets +1 attack and damage to himself, so that would be on top of CCE. So there's a lot of people he would just be coming in as a 13 for 6, or 14, excuse me, 14 for 6, potentially flurry. Um, and then again, if you can't, someone can't give terrain actions, you start to combine them with a character like King Jefferson that they can't use super strength. All of a sudden they really can't do almost anything about barrier if you have a traffic barrel, right? So you can also even use kind of like a little turtle formation for the players that I couldn't stomach sitting through a tournament and playing like that, but you could have something like that where it's like, well, you can't run through the barrier, you can't pick it up because you can't use super strength, and then you can't do a terrain action, so then you wouldn't be able to destroy it. Right,
Yeah.
right. So
Hmm.
and it's really weird that a character like Abomination would enable a strategy like that. But
Hmm.
Yeah, it's really
it's
interesting. Like people are not really giving him a lot of credit as far as like he's another one that's as well, I mean I know there's a lot of really good primes right now, but
I think that's what it is. Honestly, I think I don't. I mean, I think that's just kind of like, oh, you're not going to use them in your prime spot. Moving on. And just like I just see enough that again, just alone, just not letting your characters be giving knocked back, and then stopping the terrain actions. It just kind of changes the way that you're gonna navigate the map.
I mean Alec, what do you think about him?
Yeah, I think he's solid. Traded charge is really not the opposing characters can't be knocked back or be giving train actions. I mean, that thing is it's kind of like a Major Logan thing, right? You're paying. I feel like Major Logan, you pay 45 points, but you pay 45 points for that leadership power that says +1 to my D6, -2 to or -1 to yours if we share a character name. I feel like that's why you run him. I feel like running Abomination with like something like Wakanda Hulkbuster feels really good. That way, if they do get an outwit on Abomination, that's the only outwit they're going to get because that you can outwit that damage power and still have the rest of and then start out winning the rest. But that's where my mind went to. But yeah, I think overall he's pretty solid. I don't think he's the best prime right now, but I still think he's really
Oh
really
no.
solid.
I mean I think even at 45 points he seems pretty solid because
Oh yeah.
he's I mean like we were looking at Arrow who was 45 points. First of all, he kind of negates Arrow's force blast ability, right? Like you can't knock back
Complete.
characters. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um
Completely.
and then also for 45 points, Abomination's much more durable than Arrow is. He's got 5 clicks with Invincible and like on the back end 19 defense. And he's got plasticity for 45 points. So if you run him at 80, he's got that flurry with 14 for 6 damage, which is insane. At 45 points, he's still pretty good. Like you can use him more as like for that Project Hulkbuster trait that he has.
Yeah.
He could be potentially a butterfly swap, right? So if you need him for something like that, so that's interesting. I think it's.
Oh yeah, it's
I think
actually
it's good.
the hardest thing I have about that, and it's funny, is I it's something I've thought about with him. It's really hard to put your prime in the butterfly
Yeah,
swap spot, you know?
Yeah.
it is
And as
doable
I
though.
said, like I can't, like, when you start to talk about the other primes that exist, right? Like I can't sit and say that Abomination is the best prime, but like especially if in the world where like Titania is a metacall, and so you're going to be seeing a lot of those close combat attacks, like just that difference of like them not being able to like pick up objects and hit you and knock your guys back for these like close attacks. And especially with someone like Titania, where the whole thing, right, like if they are circumstantially stopped from doing more than one damage to an attack, one of the main ways that a player would try to generate more damage is knockback. So, like, in conjunction with Titania, it would really mitigate their ability to, like, quickly wipe your characters off the board. So, just some kind of just potential sustainability there. Like, it's really just like thinking about like Elsa Bloodstone was the one that came to mind, and not like I'm not sitting here saying the super Elsa Bloodstone plus Abomination is anything to like write home about. Just a character like that, that's just, you're basically like, oh well, yeah, that's a 4-click character that's gonna just hit their stop click and then die
Hmm.
because it has no reducer on the stop click. And with Abomination, it's like, nope, no, there's no knockback. So those characters just become a bit more interesting, especially if you're then like healing up in some capacity, right? Just gives a little bit more staying power and makes it harder for your opponent just to like knock down characters one at a time. Death Metal Wonder Woman is another character like that who people like to knock back very frequently.
All right, all right. So these are great choices so far. We have one more to go. I am going to give my last pick. My last pick is Chase Tony Stark. So let's take a look at Tony Stark.
This thing feels like a mess in silver. I'm not too familiar with silver, but I feel like this thing is just bananas in silver.
I think he's gonna be. I think he's pretty great. I actually, I just actually, my next episode is gonna be an unboxing. I just did I recorded it. I haven't uploaded it or anything yet. But well, all right. I guess I'll spoil it. I pulled Tony Stark.
Heck yeah.
And I was just looking at the sculpt, and I mean, like, this sculpt is just so cool. Like, he's looking at these holograms. It's got the globe on the bottom, like where he's standing on the earth, like projected at the bottom under his feet. Like, he's got all these hologram like computers that he's looking at. Like, he's just doing his thing. So I love it. And then yeah, as far as his abilities, he's got the Avengers team ability. He's got the Avengers Stark Industries armor and scientist keywords. Trait Stark Industries. When establishing theme teams, friendly characters with the scientist keyword gain the Stark Industries keyword. Friendly characters with the Stark Industries keyword reduce damage by 1 in addition to any other effects that reduce damage. So he automatically makes scientists into Stark Industries, and then he makes those characters and any other Stark Industries characters reduce damage by 1 extra, in addition to anything else that they have. So I love any characters that have keyword cheating, because I love to make theme teams. I mean, for me, it makes the game more fun to put theme teams together. I'm like very themey in general. Like I love anything with theme. So making Stark Industries teams is like out of scientist teams, like mixing them together, mixing and matching. Sounds great to me. I love it. Giving them the extra reducer is great. Then he also has a defense power, armor delivery system, energy shield deflection, willpower, power, generate a blocking terrain marker adjacent to a friendly character with the Stark Industries keyword. Until your next turn, that character can use Force Blast, Impervious, and has a minimum range of 4. So you can just dole that out because he probably wants to do that power action quite often. I mean, he's not really an attacker at all. He's got sidestep, 11 attack with TK, 19 defense, which is great, and then 1 damage with outwit. He's got 5 range with a single target. So when he makes this, when he does, you probably want to be doing this power action quite often with him. And it's, I think it's map wide, right? It's map wide. You just generate the terrain adjacent to a friendly character with the Stark Industries keyword. Yeah, so he doesn't need range or line of fire for that. It's just map wide. And you're giving them impervious for that turn, which is really good. Especially because now they're having impervious and they're reducing it by 1 extra. They're reducing damage by 1 extra, so you're allowing them to reduce damage by 3 and get a rollout and get Force Blast and get minimum range 4. He does have a stop click where it says suit up, stop range combat expert. So I mean this guy's insane. Like he gets, if you hit him to his stop click, he becomes like the more traditional Iron Man, running shot, penetrating psychic blast, range combat expert. So he's hitting 12 for 4, possibly 13 for 4 because of the Avengers team ability, right? He's got 21 defense from range because he's got energy shield deflection. So he's not easy to KO. He's 60 points, but I mean that's okay because he's doing so much. And I would run him with like Arachnite. Because Arachnite, a lot of times in Silver now, like the best strategy against Arachnite is to like kind of like knock him back or something like that, and deal him knockback damage. But now that he would be reducing by 1, because he's a scientist, and so he would have the Avengers, he would have the Stark Industries keyword. So running him with Arachnite might be good, or even in Modern, like running him with Ultra Chase Collector. Because that would be kind of brutal because Collector has that invincible, that's unoutwittable because he's got cosmic energy. So now he's reducing by 3 damage instead of 2. Because Collector I think is a scientist. So I mean I don't know. What are some other characters you might run Tony Stark with?
Poison Ivy is one of the first ones that I thought of when I saw his ability.
Yeah, the whole Poison Squad is scientists usually.
Yeah, you're giving them all reducers, yeah.
I thought characters that just having the extra reduction too, like characters like Ultra Humanite get kind of interesting to have a little bit more staying power in what they're doing. Like either Swamp Thing, Prime Black Panther. There's a pretty solid one there too. Like just having him be up in the fray, being able to use that power action to then give him imperv on top of his rollouts that he already has, and then he can revive as well. Like he becomes pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean like Perdegaton automatically just reduces the damage by -1. He's used on so many teams right now. So Man-Thing, super solid.
Spot.
Spot.
Because
he doesn't have a reducer, so yeah, that would be
Mr. Freeze, the snow globe one.
Well, you would just have like the coolest looking team if you played Mr. Freeze in this Tony Stark.
Oh heck yeah.
This like so much translucent blue plastic, right?
Heck yeah.
Like
besides that, I mean, like, unless you want to dive into like Silver Age stuff, which
a million things.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just think he's a great figure. Also, I love the sculpt. Tony Stark's one of my favorite characters. I mean, love everything about it. It's just really flavorful as well. He's like delivering armor to people, and they're joining Stark Industries, and he's kind of like he's I love how it there's a stop click where he kind of goes into his traditional Iron Man as well. So I just really love this figure. I think it's a really cool one. Do I think it's like the best chase in the set? No, not really, but it's one of my personal favorites. And I don't think it's the worst one either. I think it's definitely good. It's definitely a good figure. So but I mean, Alec, Joe, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me and like helping me list these top 12. If you were paying attention, listening, and or watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We just listed the top 12 HeroClix from Marvel HeroClix Smash and Destroy. Please like and subscribe. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to my patrons at the end of this video. Alec or Joe, do you guys have any final words, or do you want to say anything? Do you have anything to promote or say?
Go for it, Joe.
Oh, nothing huge. I'll just use this as a platform, a PSA for how gross Jersey Devil is. Just engaging in some discussion on the rules forums and having Brian Gelly confirm that if you activate an Irene Adler while getting a 13th token, then you can exchange all three of your disguises for Jersey Devils. It's just very disgusting. And it's something that you can just really easily do on like turn 2. So
really, is it? So it's like a meta strategy, or I saw somebody post that, but
I mean I don't know if it's. I feel like I've had some builds around it. I'm not going to purport that anything that I have put together is meta per se, but I mean, like you can just do so again, especially with like Kooky Quartet. You can have like a Avengers theme team that on turn 2 takes Irene Adler and turns her into 3 Jersey Devils on top of the rest of whatever else is on your team, right? Like pick the rest of it. If you're really feeling like spicy about it, you could even play like double Cap Wolf, double Timebreaker Bystander in Irene, and then like have like one more generator, and then you can do it on turn 1. I don't think that's very good, but it's like that you can just take that like 150-point figure and exchange it for 3 like 8 click deep like pulse waving mystics guys. It's nuts. And again, with the caveat of everything else of like it still might not even be good enough, right? But just yet more disgusting nonsense that the sideline can do. So I don't know. I just feels like one of those things that can just create some negative play experiences. So that's the stuff that's always a bummer. It's just like someone who can't interact with that in any way and be like, oh, well, my 50-point piece is now 240 points worth of figures. And all right, have fun dealing with this.
okay, yeah. I mean, I was just excited that it was New Jersey, right? It's the Jersey Devil.
I mean, I think that's the problem, if we're being honest, right?
The problem is it's New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just keep multiplying. You think there's only going to be one, and they keep coming. That's not great. Yeah, hate the Jets. Go Bills. That's my final thought.
All right, Alec, what about you? What do you got going on?
Yeah, man. If you like HeroClix stuff and you like other content and stuff like that, I have a channel called HeroClix USA. I have a YouTube channel that does videos and a podcast as well. On our Instagram channel, I just do photography of HeroClix. That's what kind of started the whole thing. And then on top of that, like I do reels of HeroClix on all those platforms and TikTok just the short form content. So yeah, just trying to get whatever it is HeroClix related. I just think this game is so amazing, and that's kind of why we do the content creation, is to spread the joy and love of this game out there more and see if more people who have never heard of this game or maybe want to get back into it have a chance of seeing it in an age where it's really easy to find stuff again, because if there's content about it, it could get pushed to you. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Alec. And yes, definitely go follow HeroClix USA. Also follow Coffee and Clicks if you don't already, if you're watching this for the first time. And I really appreciate your viewership, and I really appreciate all your support. And thanks for tuning in. And don't forget, wake up and smell the clicks.